2009 and the game Lunacy, and lots is happening for Team 1218 at that time. The Roar Science Building has just been completed. We have a beautiful lab with CNC equipment, a new lathe. Things are really looking up. We have a quarter of a playing field as part of the lab that is also part of the classroom. And we are excited to get the season off. It is the 50th anniversary of man landing on the moon.
Yep.
And so they're sort of trying to replicate what would happen if we were to play this game with the gravity of moon. And so they did this insidious,
nasty little trick.
Plastic floor with a 1-foot border all the way around of regular carpet. And everyone was required to use the same plastic wheels. So it
was plastic on plastic, which meant it slipped like you were driving on ice.
Like driving on ice, like you were driving on the moon. And to make matters worse, we were using these crazy band balls that we had to pick up, and we had to pull a trailer, and the object was to keep the balls out of our trailer and dump the balls that we had collected into other people that were slipping and sliding around the field that also had trailers. And there were a couple, I think, portable goals there too that you could fill. Yep. But it was a crazy...
So there are a couple of things that make this particularly challenging. One is that these balls are not only hollow and rigid, they're a little bit squishy, but the banding interlocks. So if you were trying to roll two next to each other, they would lock together and they wouldn't roll. And so we devised a system that used a series of brushes for our intake mechanism. And then we used a clever mechanism because the trailer into which we had to dump these was 4 feet tall. So we had to get the balls up 4 feet from the floor before we dumped them. And we used, this is our robot Taz, and we used a series of rollers to take the, brushes to take the balls in. And then we used that center roller and an Archimedes screw around the outside. So we simply rolled the balls up the screw, which got us to the shooting height, which is what this guy does, and also stacked them up neatly and prevented them from interlocking. And that was the thing that made this unique. There was no other robot that year that utilized this technology, and so it was truly incisive technology. And the net result is it was a pretty successful year for us.
It was a great year. And we, because of the spinning brush in the middle, we called him Taz after the Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, the Warner Brothers cartoon character.
Yes, the Warner Brothers. And so we had a great year. We won the Pittsburgh Regional, and I can remember our team captain watching every match and picking alliance partners, because I believe we were the higher seed.
Yep.
And he picked alliance partners based on their human player. And that's very exciting. He found a human player that could throw these shots and drop them into people's trailer from anywhere on the field. And so that really helped us in the scoring. They had a great robot to boot too. And that sealed our trip to Worlds back in Atlanta.
It was back in Atlanta, and a little bit better scheduling on my part this time because we actually stayed for the whole thing. Right. Which turned out to be a pretty exciting adventure for us because not only did we qualify very high, I'm not quite sure where we qualified, but certainly fairly high, and we ended up winning our division. We were in the Archimedes division. We won that, which qualified us for a trip to Einstein. This would be our second trip to Einstein, and which is sort of the nirvana of robots, is right. Make it to Einstein. And we made it through the semis and into the finals. No, I guess we finished in the semis.
Yeah, we got knocked out.
We got knocked out in the semis, which qualified us, by our calculation, for third place in the world, and a robot that lives on in our gallery forever because right. Truly unique solution to the problem that performed extremely well.
And this was our first year with a young man named Jeff Eng, and little would we know how valuable a player he would become to our team. And as a 9th grader, he was very interesting, very funny. His dad jumped in to help Ben, and Jeff really has continued to work with First, even though he's graduated, and is writing lots of software to help, especially the FLL teams do their scoring.
Yeah.